你是我的小呀小苹果，怎么爱你都不嫌多，红红的小脸温暖我的心窝。
Ni hao YouTube, what's going on? Zalan to China. In this video I want to refer to my video having a train ride in China, and there were so many people referring to one issue, especially Chinese people. Thank you very much for your comments, I really appreciate it. That was really interesting. And the topic is, did the Chinese copy the German high-speed train, ICE, which means Intercity Express, which is really interesting. One subscriber of my channel wrote me something interesting in the comments, and I decided to do some research on this topic. I'm not an expert, I'm absolutely not an expert. I just checked what I can find in the internet to get some things clear, and because the thing is really interesting. China has a massive, is really expanding concerning the trains and all this technology of the railway technology. This is really impressive, and I think this is quite worth having a closer look on this subject. So yeah, did the Chinese copy the German high-speed train, ICE? Kind of, they did, but it is not like what we suppose in the West, what we suspect usually, like, okay, they got one train in Germany, took it to China, and then they rebuilt it a thousand times, and then they made big profit of that. It wasn't like this. So to get the things right, there is the German company called Siemens, which is responsible for building the ICE, the high-speed train in Germany, and they have a very famous platform of different, very famous family of different trains, and one of the most famous ones is the Velaro based train, which is also built. The ICE3 in Germany is also built on the Velaro platform, from the Velaro family. So I think in 2005 there were some contracts signed between Siemens, the German company, and the Chinese company Tangshan Locomotive and Rolling Stock Works from China. And yeah, they decided to do this kind of joint venture and to produce a new kind of train based on the German ICE3 model. So they decided to build the first 3 trains of this in Krefeld, Uerdingen, and also Erlangen, I think. And in the contract they signed in 2005, they made clear that altogether they want to build 60 trains together. The first 3 of them were built in Germany, and they were later shipped to China, and the other 57 trains should be built in China because it's cheaper and more convenient until 2010. Yeah, and then those trains were supposed to be built in China later at the Tangshan Locomotive and Rolling Stock Works industry. So the first big thing was taking place when the Olympic Games in Beijing in 2008 took place. So before this big event, the first CRH3, which is the China Railway high-speed train, which it is called, right? This is the Chinese correspondent of the ICE3, is this CRH3. It should be on the rail before the Olympic Games start. And yeah, that was really a great success for China, because it was running on the rail between Beijing and Tianjin, and its maximum speed was 350 kilometers per hour, which was really impressive, and it's still today. I think they had even more high speeds without passengers, but today it's a high speed up to 350 kilometers per hour. And what is interesting, if you watch my video taking a train ride in China, you can see that inside of the CRH3, almost everything looks like in a German ICE3. So this is because they were working together on this project, right? And because Siemens was still delivering parts for the Chinese production later on until 2010, and altogether the sum we are talking about in this joint venture is 607 billion euros. 670 billion euros. So that's a lot of cash, and that was a big business for the German company as well, for Siemens, right? And they they did this joint venture, they sold their knowledge and their technology, right? And so we cannot say the Chinese copied, they bought one train and then they copied it in China. This is wrong, right? They did a joint venture with the German company together, they bought the knowledge. They bought 60 trains, right? 60 trains. This is a lot, right? Today they are making much more business with that. I think they are on their own production. They are even exporting those kind of trains, and I think now they are definitely. I think I read this. They are on the first place of building those trains worldwide, right? So they do this for their own needs, right? They build a lot of trains, much more than the initial 60 ones. They have much more now, and also they are exporting this stuff, right? So yeah, this is really interesting concerning this CRH3, which was built like the ICE3 as an example. For example, in the inside you can see the toilets are pretty much the same than in the German ICE3. The doors, the sliding doors are the same. Then where you can see like which speed is the train going, all this stuff, the red letters there. If you've ever been riding a German ICE3, you can see that right away. It looks like an ICE3 in Germany. Absolutely the same. It is very clean. I have to say, the staff in those trains, they clean the trains very well. Everything is very clean, very proper, very tidy. And yeah, one subscriber, he sent me a very interesting link. You can check it in the comments. Like there was one passenger riding the train and putting a €2 coin on the side, and it took 20 minutes or something until it fell off, right? And it falls much faster in a German train, which in the German ICE3, which means that the Chinese CRH3 runs much smoother than the German ICE3. So they kind of bought this new technology, they kind of made a new thing there together with a German company, and they kind of improved it. They kind of still improved this technology of the German railway, which is really impressive, right? Very nice. So let me give you some details I read on Wikipedia. So as I said, I'm not an expert. I read the stuff in the internet. If you want to add something, please let me know in the comments. So as I read on Wikipedia, the first train from Germany went from the Hamburg port in Hamburg Harbor from Germany to Tianjin in 2007, and it took 6 weeks to take this train to Tianjin. So you can really imagine, like, this takes too much time. You cannot build all those trains in Germany and then transporting them to China. This takes too long. Then the second train also was delivered later to Tianjin, and there were several test rides. And which was really impressive is that in June 2008, this CRH3 train had a speed record in China with 394 kilometers per hour. And even the former president Hu Jintao was riding this train the following day when it arrived from Beijing to Tianjin. And yeah, he was really impressed, right? So yeah, they had this test drives also in December 2009 from Wuhan to Guangzhou, and now we have a really long distance of railway between Wuhan, Hubei, Changsha, Zhuzhou, Guangdong, more than 1,000 kilometers definitely. I think today it's even much more. So this is the CRH3 model, right? The China Railway high-speed train. They also have different models. They have the CRH1, CRH2 from other companies, and there is even a CRH5 today, which was built in a joint venture with the French Alstom group in the Pendolino family, and it is running between Hubei and Shanxi on a 6-kilometer railway. This is really interesting. So just to make this clear, it's far too easy to say the Chinese just copied the train and bought a train and then copied it in China. This is absolutely wrong. They did a huge business with the German enterprise Siemens, and yeah, they bought a really good train with that. They bought good technology, and they're using the big advantages of this technology. Every time I take the train in China, I'm just impressed. I'm really impressed, right? And I can say that, I mean, I've been riding the ICE3 in Germany a lot of times, but it kind of makes me feel like the German ICE3 feels like not so advanced in technology. It's kind of old technology for me already. When you're sitting in the Chinese CRJ3, everything is running so smooth, and from the outside it looks. Oh, that is one of the major differences. From the outside, it looks much different than the German ICE3. It looks a bit kind of more futuristic. It has a long nose, right? So yeah, that's really interesting, and the prices are very nice. You can have a 1,500 kilometers trip for 100 euros, and many people prefer taking train rides with this Gautier instead of taking a plane, because it's so much more convenient, right? It's really nice to sit in this train. You can sleep, you can have a nap, no one is disturbing you, you can read, you have electricity, right? That's a big thing, and I really like those trains. I like to travel with it, and yeah, this is what I wanted to get right, as so many people were watching this video, asking me questions, and thank you very much for this, especially my Chinese colleagues. Best wishes to all my Chinese friends in Germany, in China, wherever you are in the States. If you have anything to add, I'm not an expert, as I said. If you have any questions, if you want to add anything, if you want to correct me, put it in the comments. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you next time. Please subscribe to my channel. There will be much more videos about China, also German-Chinese relationships related videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye. 再见。
你是我的小呀小苹果，怎